Okay, so my now second Schatt Morgan knife that I've ever bought. I got this from traditionalpocketknives.com, although he doesn't have any more. I think this was the last one. And this is called the Equal End Cattle Knife. It's got these jig bone covers that look pretty good. They're very uniform and everything, so it's not like a case jig pattern where it's all random and everything. But this kind of had its own beauty to it. I like the coloring. It's got the Keystone Shield, which I like because I live in Pennsylvania, which is the Keystone State. And of course, Schatt Morgan was made by Queen, which was in Pennsylvania. The main blade here is a spear point blade, about 3 3/4 inches long or something like that. This kind of reminds me of the beer and sausage knife that Great Eastern Cutlery did. What's that? The 35 frame? And that's kind of why I wanted one. So you get, your main spear blade here. This one does rub the brass liner a little bit, so it's got a couple scratches on the blade there. Not the end of the world. I do intend on using this knife, so it's gonna get scratched up anyway. This is this is in 420 HC, I believe, stainless steel. So it's not in 1095, unfortunately. Um, Action on the spear blade, pretty great. The other blades are kind of harder to get to. Let me see if I can get them here. Okay. You got a little secondary spay blade. Of course, the spay blade isn't exactly my favorite shape. But yeah, it's pretty thin. You can see it's bent to fit with the other two blades here. The action on the spay blade is also good, kind of stiff. And then the third blade is a reamer or a punch or an awl or whatever you want to call this, I guess. Something for punching holes through leather or possibly drilling some holes through some wood, like pieces of wood or something. So whatever you want to call that tool, a punch, an awl, what was the other word I used? I don't remember. But yeah, so, it's got a punch on it, which is pretty nice to have a tool involved with a knife like this. I believe nickel silver bolsters, brass pins, brass liners. Knife's put together pretty well. There are some very slight gaps between the back springs and liners. Not the end of the world as far as I'm concerned. I'm not the traditional collector as far as that. Not everything has to be perfect because the knife's going to end up in my pocket with my keys and my pocket change and whatever else ends up in there. So it's going to get scratched up and everything anyway. So nothing that ever really mattered to me all that much. Knife put together pretty well. No blade play or anything. The main blade has a great action, and it really does remind me of the Great Eastern Cutlery 35 frame, which is one of the reasons why I wanted it. But yeah, so that's the Schatt Morgan Equal End Cattle Knife. And that's going to be it for this video. And I hope you guys have a good day.